Charlene has suspected meningitis. She could die. Meningitis can be treated, but Charlene is unlikely to be cured. That's because she's a citizen of the Central African Republic.
In the heart of Africa, there are 4 million people who are there and who need help. The doctors see their patient dying because they don't have something just to save their lives.
They cannot provide the necessary care to people who are really suffering with diseases and dying.
The real challenge is to find ways of getting finance for countries like the Central African Republic before the situation deteriorates into a total humanitarian crisis.
Could the Central African Republic become Africa's next crisis? Life has been given rare access to CAR, especially the health service, to find out just how bad the situation is. The United Nations is already calling it the world's most silent crisis. The Central African Republic has largely been forgotten. A landlocked country of just under 4 million people, bordered by Congo, Chad and Sudan. Politically, it's been unstable for decades, since it was granted independence from France in 1960. From 1966, it was ruled by the decadent and notorious self-declared emperor Jean Bedel Bokassa. He was eventually overthrown in 1979 in a coup backed by French commandos. Almost 20 years of further political instability culminated in mutinies by the army in 1997. Strikes and riots by civil servants followed 3 years later. There have been 4 coups in the past decade. The last was in 2003, when the current president, François Bozize, seized power while his predecessor was out of the country. There was a brief civil war until Bozize's forces took control. Today, the Central African Republic is struggling to avoid more economic and social chaos. The president claims health is close to the top of his agenda.
The country's health situation has been made more difficult by the events that took place in the Central African Republic, the uprisings and fighting. And in order to do this, we have made enormous efforts to ensure that the Ministry of Health's budget accounts for between 15 and 20% of the national budget.
At the moment, the real figure is nearer 5%, according to the country's Minister of Health. That amounts to about $8 million. But will that money change things for Charlene? She is fighting for her life. Her chances are slim. Infant mortality rates in the Central African Republic are among the highest in the world. Even if Charlene survives, she'll struggle to reach 5. If she makes it that far, she'll probably live only until her 39th birthday. Life expectancy is that low. This clinic in the capital Bangui is funded by a Baptist church mission and sees around 100 patients every day. There is just 1 qualified doctor and 2 nurses. There are very few drugs, vaccines or medical equipment, and this clinic is better equipped than other hospitals in the Central African Republic. It's the first port of call for local people and their children because it's free. If the children don't put on any weight after being fed high-protein meals, it's assumed they have some other illness, and they're referred to Bangui's pediatric hospital, which isn't free.
Le problème majeur en ce moment, c'est la malnutrition. C'est lié à peu près à la situation du pays.
The major problem at the moment is malnutrition. The people don't have any more money. They don't have enough to eat, which means that the children become more and more malnourished. We have also noticed an increase in the number of orphans. Because of AIDS, there are a lot of orphans. Mom or dad has died, so the grandmother lives with the children. Every day we see at least 5 to 8 orphans who have lost their father or mother or both.
De père ou de mère ou les deux ensemble.